Hey, what's going on, folks? I want to start off this video by thanking everyone. I really can't believe how many of you actually came through and showed your support and appreciation in my last one. In the last video, I asked you guys to like the video for me. That way it would help spread it to more people. And I almost didn't even post that video because I thought people would just dismiss it as bullshit. But with all the spoilers that have came out, I think most of you are more open-minded to things and will at least discuss it, which is the main purpose for me making these videos. So since you guys showed so much support, I want to give something back to show my appreciation as well. And most of you already know about the giveaway on January 1st, when I'm going to randomly select a subscriber and then send them any Game of Thrones season on Blu-ray that they choose. And most of you already know that I'm going to do another giveaway right after that, which is going to be this t-shirt. But since you guys showed so much love in that last video, I'm going to add a second gift to this next giveaway, which I will reveal this weekend. So the second giveaway is going to have 2 prizes. And I'm going to just be honest with you guys. If you guys continue to watch my videos and like the videos, I'll do a damn giveaway every single month. All you need to do is subscribe and like the video. And I will randomly pick one of you every month and send you a cool Game of Thrones related gift. You guys do for me and I'm going to do for you. So thank you to everyone that has participated. Now let's get today's video started. So, just like I did with the original leak and spoilers, I want to break it down and discuss what parts are actually likely to happen based on characters, locations, and motivations. So let's begin. At the beginning it says the White Walkers are marching south to the Wall, and there is an undead polar bear and a White Walker riding a giant ice spider. Now I know the White Walkers are definitely going to be heading south. There's no one left beyond the Wall for them to kill. And Craster's dead, so there's no longer any babies for them to be provided with. So there really isn't much purpose for them to be north of the Wall, now that everyone has fled south. But are they going to be riding on these undead animals? I don't think that's very likely. The show tends to only spend money on CGI when it is absolutely necessary. The dire wolves are a very important part of the story, and they only tend to show them when they're killing one of them off. So the chance of them using CGI to show other animals probably won't happen. But there is always a possibility that they could do it. The show is winding down to the end, and I would like to think they want to go out with a bang. And these animals have already been a part of the story, so I think that leaves the door open for them to bring them into the show. We know Old Nan told Bran the horror stories about the White Walkers riding their packs of ice spiders that were as big as hounds. And in the books, there is a snow bear. And since we know they can raise dead horses, there's no reason why they couldn't raise other dead animals. So there is a good chance they could go in this direction. I think it would be awesome as hell to see, but I'm not going to hold my breath and expect to see, a zombie polar bear and an ice spider, but it would be awesome to see. Don't get me wrong. Okay, Bran and Meera have been allowed through the Wall. Ed tells Bran that Jon is at Winterfell and is now king of the North. Bran doesn't tell Ed about Jon's parentage, but he does tell Meera. Meera tells Bran that her father, Howland Reed, once hinted that Rhaegar and Lyanna loved each other. Now, unless everyone gets their armies north of the Wall immediately, Bran and Meera have to get south at some point. So this part is obvious. We know Bran is right outside the Wall where the weirwood tree is at, right where the Night's Watch take their vows. But Bran and Meera both know that the Night's King can locate Bran with the mark on his hand. So now the time is of the essence. But they also both know that his mark can destroy any magical barriers that are in place to keep the others out. And Uncle Benjen just told Bran about the Wall's magical properties. So Bran's going to have to make a tough decision regardless, knowing that his mark could potentially allow the White Walkers through. But I can't wait to see how that plays out. And I also don't think Bran would tell Ed about Jon's parentage. There is no reason he needs to know that. And if I were Bran, I wouldn't be telling anyone. Because you never know who wants all the Targaryens dead. So I wouldn't risk telling the wrong person before I could at least tell Jon first. But I do understand why Bran would tell Meera. She has helped him this entire time. So I think the least he could do is tell her what the hell's been going on and what he's been seeing in all these visions. Plus he should trust her by now. He should trust all the Reeds. In his vision he saw that Howland Reed saved his father's life at the Tower of Joy. So there's no reason why I don't think he would trust Meera with this information. And I personally believe that Rhaegar and Lyanna were in love. I do not think Rhaegar kidnapped her. I don't think there's any way in hell. I think they were both in love with each other, and I think Lyanna left with him willingly. Alright, next is Jon, Davos, Tormund, Lyanna, Sansa, and Elise Karstark, and they're discussing what to do with the castles Last Hearth, the Dreadfort, and Carhold. Lyanna wants the castles to go to the loyal houses who helped Jon, but Elise wants Jon to forgive the children of the Karstarks and the Umbers. Jon does, but he allows the wildlings to take control of the Dreadfort. Now I can definitely see a scene like this taking place. Jon did not have the support of everyone in the north when it was time to fight. And now that he won the Battle of the Bastards and reclaimed Winterfell for his family, I can absolutely see some people having a problem with those who didn't help. Especially Lyanna Mormont. She is brutally honest and loyal, and already put everyone in their place right before Jon was named king. So I could definitely see Lyanna having a problem when it comes time for Jon to divide up, all the different lands in the north. I could see why she wouldn't want the Umbers and Karstarks to have any piece of the pie. But we know Jon always wants to do what is right, and not hold everyone responsible for what others have done or not done. Just like he done with the wildlings. But I agree that Jon should give something to the wildlings. They have helped him in many ways and saved his life in many ways. So I think they absolutely deserve something. Especially Tormund. I think Tormund should be given his own house. But I am a huge Tormund fan, so I'm always going to be biased in favor of him. I know they were once savages, but I don't blame them. I know if someone kept me out with a big-ass wall, knowing me and my family were starving and freezing to death, I'd be willing to murder people too just to get to safety. But that's just my opinion. But I'm not sure if this scene will take place or not. I'd give it a 50-50 chance, I guess. There hasn't really been any evidence to show that this is going to happen, but it's really not a crazy prediction. I can see something like this taking place. Okay, Arya frees Edmure from the Frey cells. Edmure is depressed after getting the Blackfish killed. Arya tells him to retake Riverrun since the Freys are dead. I think we will see something like this. If you saw my last video about Arya Stark, you'd know that I already predicted this to happen. We know Arya is on a mission to wipe out all the Freys, and we know that Edmure is still there locked up in the cells. And considering Edmure is family, I think Arya will free him while she is at Walder Frey's. But I wasn't sure if Edmure could legally take control of the Frey army. But if Arya wipes out every living male Frey, then there really wouldn't be anyone to dispute it. And if I were Edmure, I would try and take control of the twins, especially after what Walder Frey has put him through. Alright, Tyrion tells the Sand Snakes that he is disgusted that they murdered his own niece. He tells them that after Dany takes the throne, they are going to pay. Now, I do not think this is going to happen, not in episode 1. I think the Sand Snakes will be taken prisoner by Euron in the first episode. And since Tyrion is on Dany's ship, and the Sand Snakes are on a different ship, there's really no way for Tyrion to say this to them while they are at sea. And I think the Sand Snakes will be captured at sea, before anyone reaches land, so I highly doubt Tyrion threatens them here. I would absolutely understand why he would. We know Tyrion and Myrcella had a good relationship, and he would definitely be pissed that they murdered her, but I just don't see him being in position to talk to them in the first episode. Now, near the coast of Dorne, Yara's forces and Dany's split up. Yara heads toward the Iron Islands, while Dany heads towards Dragonstone. And during all this, Euron's 1,000 ships are being built, so he heads south. I do think Yara and Dany will split up somehow. We know from the spoilers that Yara gets captured by Euron. And I think if Yara was sailing in Dany's fleet during this, then Dany would have her dragons destroy Euron before he could leave. So I definitely think Euron is going to have to catch Yara with her guard down and blindside her without Dany's forces being around. I'm just not sure why Yara would head right back to the Iron Islands after she just left there, though. The only real reason I could see Yara heading back is if Dany would lend her some kind of help to take out Euron before his ships are being built. I don't think Yara would go back and take Euron on with just the Ironborn that she has. I think she'd definitely want to take a little extra support, just to take him on. So, I'm not sure if she gets attacked while sailing back to the Iron Islands, but I do know she will get attacked at the sea somewhere. Euron had those 1,000 ships built pretty damn fast, though. But I guess we're just going to have to assume that they have been building them during the off-season of the show. We're just going to have to suspend disbelief on this one. But regardless of how it takes place, we already know Euron captures her and the Sand Snakes regardless. Jaime and Cersei get into an argument. Cersei gets Jaime to forgive her and they start having sex. Now, I wouldn't be surprised by this at all. I would hope that Jaime would leave this crazy bitch by now, but we know he is completely blinded by his love for his sister. Now, I know he's not happy with what she's done, because Jaime already killed one king for wanting to burn the city down. And now that Cersei's done this, which ultimately caused their own son to commit suicide, I would think Jaime would go apeshit. But thanks to the spoilers, we know Jaime does not abandon her right away, if at all. We have already seen tons of leaked photos that show Jaime leading the Lannister army into battle. And we've also seen leaked photos that show Jaime and Cersei together in King's Landing. So Jaime isn't going to leave her just yet, even if he is pissed. And Cersei, she also knows Jaime's weakness, which is her. So I could definitely see her using sex as a tool to keep Jaime in line. I think as long as she keeps giving it up to Jaime, she can get away with anything she wants, and he's going to stay by her side for now. For now, at least. Alright, Brienne arrives at Winterfell after seeing the Stark banners. I can only assume Brienne is heading in this direction. She is sworn to protect Sansa, and last we saw, Brienne was sent to the Blackfish by Sansa to try and get his support for the upcoming war. But we know the Blackfish declined the offer, so Brienne and Podrick left and headed up the river, more than likely to return to Sansa. Brienne probably has no idea that they even won the war yet, but once she will see the Stark banners at Winterfell, then it's going to be pretty damn obvious. I'm not sure if Brienne will arrive during episode 1, but I do know she will be back under the Stark's roof as soon as possible, as long as she doesn't run into someone along the way that may want to kill her. But even then, it would just slow her down, because I think it's going to take a goddamn army to stop Brienne. She's as tough as nails. It says, Melisandre run-ins to the Brotherhood without banners. Melisandre tells them that Jon is Azor Ahai, so the Brotherhood without banners decide to go to Winterfell. Now, I could also see something like this happening too. We know Jon sent Melisandre south after he learned that she burned Princess Shireen alive at the stake. And we last saw her leaving Winterfell for south, and along the way she could easily run into the Brotherhood without banners. I think there are several different characters Melisandre can run into along the way, which I did make a video about before. But we also know that the Hound is with the Brotherhood without banners, and according to the leaked photos, we know that the Hound and Tormund will definitely have scenes together next season. So assuming the Hound stays with the Brotherhood, and Tormund stays with Jon, I think we will see all of these guys together at some point next season. So I wouldn't rule that out at all. Next, Jorah arrives in Old Town. I think this is likely to happen at some point, I believe. We know Dany sent Jorah on a mission to cure his grayscale, so he could safely return to her and be by her side when she goes to conquer Westeros. And as much as Jorah loves Dany at this point, I think he will do just that. I know whenever I come down with some type of cold, all I have to do is Google my symptoms to figure out how to get better. And since the Citadel is basically a physical form of Google, I see Jorah doing the same, knowing that if anywhere has a cure written, it would be at the Citadel. So I think this will happen. I just don't know if it's going to happen during episode 1. But we know there's leaked photos already that show Jorah and Dany together on Dragonstone, so we have to assume that he definitely got his grayscale cured at some point. And it probably is going to happen fairly early, because we see Jorah and Jon at Dragonstone together, and we can pretty much assume Jon's going to be there in episode 2 or 3. Okay, Jaime and the Lannister army leave King's Landing to go south to Sack High Garden. Jaime takes Widow's Wail with him. Now, if you have seen all the spoilers I have uploaded previously, you would know that all of this will take place next season. We have already seen photos of Jaime carrying Widow's Wail, and we have already seen photos of Jaime and the Lannister army fighting against the Tyrells, so there really isn't anything for me to contemplate here. If I had to pick something, Jaime did just arrive in King's Landing, so if I had to dispute anything, it would be that he isn't going to leave again in the very next episode, but who knows? If they know Dany is coming with this massive army, then they're going to want to gain support and weaken her allies as much as they can before the big war comes. So that's just my guess. And this last part is pretty obvious. It says Dany arrives at Dragonstone. If you watch my other videos, you would already know my stance on this. We already know Dany has set sail for Westeros, and is heading in this direction. And we have already seen hundreds of photos showing Dany and Tyrion on a beach of Dragonstone. So this isn't really any new information. But it also says Dany and Tyrion go into Stannis' old war room, and Dany turns to Tyrion and says, "Shall we begin?" Now, I know Dany said this before, so there was always a chance she could say it again, and this could become like her new little catchphrase, sort of like how Tyrion always says a Lannister always pays his debts. But I kind of doubt she would say this again, but who really knows? Unless they saw that written on a script somewhere, I wouldn't have predicted this myself. But overlooking all of this new information, I think most of this is likely to happen. I just can't guarantee it will all happen during episode 1. But most of the characters are in position to do these things, so these aren't really any groundbreaking predictions. I could see someone guessing this stuff. Most of it I already assumed what happened myself. I didn't think Jaime would go to Highgarden, so that is something I was kind of surprised by. But other than that, I think most of us assumed we would see these things at some point. But comment below and give me your thoughts on this first allegedly leaked episode, and tell me what you think is likely to happen in episode 1. And as always, thanks for watching and supporting the videos, and I will see you guys in the comment section. Bye.